Yeah, what's going on, No Nation? CJ Wilson here with another episode of Dope Talk. Sorry for the late episode. Literally just fresh off the road, was rushing here to get back to you guys from the Clemson game. It's been a long and eventful weekend, right? A fun weekend, especially for FSU fans. Got the big time ACC victory against the Clemson Tigers on the road. Their first This is a crazy stat, right? Their first home loss since 2000, so their first home conference loss since 2016. I'm gonna talk about it a little bit later, but it's definitely a true testament to the home field atmosphere that Clemson has built, and also for us to go out there in the hostile environment to get that win, 31-24 in overtime. Let's go ahead and get started. But it's a couple of things I want to talk about first. We're going to do a little recap of the game, and then I'm going to jump into some recruiting tidbits in regards to what we have going on. You hear noise in the background? My apologies. One second. No, perfect. Should be good. All right. All right, let's go ahead and get into the recap of the game. My apologies. There's a couple things I want to talk about. Let's look at the box score for a second, because if you look at the box score, man, it's not as bad as Boston College, but it's another game. If you just look at the box score, Clemson pretty much wins this game. We had 16 first downs. They had 25 first downs. We were 4 for 13 on third down, 1 for 2 on fourth. 4 for 13 on third down. We got to get a little bit better at. Hats off to their defense. I think the Clemson defense played Clemson ball, right? We've been known that they have a lot of athletes on defense and been a physical defense for the past couple of years. And I think, yeah, that was probably the best defense that we've seen so far this year, and probably the best defense we will see for the remainder of the regular season. I feel like Clemson definitely has the best defense we will see for the remainder of the regular season. We had 311 total yards, 289 passing yards. Trav was 21 of 37. This is what stood out to me the most, though, and we have to correct this. And I've been talking about it for the past couple episodes. We had 22 rushing yards, only 22 rushing yards. That has to get better. Trey Benson had 7 carries for 25 yards. Rodney Hill had 3 for 1, Tor Philly 2 for 0, and of course a couple negative plays by Jordan Travis and Jaheim Bell, which got us under that 25-yard rushing for the game. That's unacceptable. We have to do something different with the run game. Maybe just my opinion, and talking to some people within Clemson, they know what's coming when we run the ball because it's our bread and butter, right? Counter, we're gonna pretty much counter you to death and things like that. We may have to get more creative with our run game. Maybe run some inside zones and things like that moving forward. And this bye week is coming at the perfect time too, just to kind of figure out some things offensively and try some different things as well, since we have this week of practice and another week prior to Virginia Tech. But when we run the ball, they know what we're doing as far as the counter. So we got to mix it up a little bit, and it's easier to stop when you kind of know exactly what the offense is going to do. But hats off to Clemson, they have a physical defensive line. Tyler Davis, a kid that we recruited, from Florida, a kid that we recruited for a while ago. It was an FSU and Clemson battle down the stretch, but they ended up winning. They have really good defensive tackles. Xavier Thomas, the 5-star defensive end, finally healthy and making some plays. But yeah, we have to get better in the run game. 25 yards for Trey Benson, and just under 25 rushing yards within the game. That has to be better. 22 total. We have to do better than that, especially coming into the season. That's supposed to be a strength of ours. So we got to go back to the drawing board and see what we can do as far as things to fix the run game. Penalties, we had 7 for 60. They had 6 for 50. So penalties was rather clean. Time of possession, it was 25 to their 34. 34 minutes for them, 25 for us. They had 429 total yards. We have to do better in that regard. This is the third game this season, third out of 4. Hell, each P5 game this season, we gave up over 400 yards. Like that's not FSU football. That's unacceptable. But I'm telling you the difference in this game and what in the huge swing, because looking at this box score, it tells you a story that Clemson pretty much won this game. But that Kalen Deloach play, that was the play of the game and possibly the play of the year for FSU thus far within the season. Couldn't have came at a bigger moment in the game. FSU, that Clemson was kind of driving. They was on their side of the 50. They're already up 7, looking to go up 2 scores. If they'd have went up 2 scores within that third quarter, it'd have been very tough for FSU to come back. Caden Deloach comes through in a beautiful blitz. And also, let's just talk about how he blitzes, too. He's the most efficient blitzer in the country per PFF. If you look at how he blitzes, first he's explosive and he's a fast guy as it is, but he doesn't show his blitzes. He blitzes from the linebacker stance. He doesn't show it, and he times his blitzes perfectly. Pretty much every blitz that Kalen DeLoach comes with, he usually gets home. That's why he's graded so high with the PFF grade. But again, big time hit by Kalen DeLoach. Not only did he force the fumble with the sack, and I'm lucky, I'm not lucky, I'm happy that Fitz kind of fumbled the ball and it landed in D-Lo's hand because it was instant 7 points. So to be honest with you, that was at a minimum, probably it was about a 10 to 14 point swing within the game because we scored points and we possibly took off points from Clemson. As I said, they were driving down that field, look at the score, a field goal or a touchdown or a field goal at the very least. So we're talking about a 7 to 14 point swing. And that was pretty much the tell of the game. That momentum and denominator that kind of landed in Florida State's favor. Yeah, that was crazy. And that's just the atmosphere. I want to talk about the offensive line too and how prepared they were as far as the atmosphere. I don't think we had any false starts, maybe one or two, if I'm not mistaken, like false start penalties. I was paying attention to the offensive line because it was loud in there. It was a ruckus Clemson atmosphere. It was loud. It was rowdy. 12 o'clock, people thought, since it wasn't an 8 o'clock night game and things like that, that atmosphere wasn't going to be your typical Clemson atmosphere. Nah, Clemson is different. I will say their fans come out whether it's a 12 o'clock, 3:30, 8 p.m. Their fans going to show up and they're going to be loud and rock and rowdy. So yeah, just looking again, man, the offensive line did pretty good in regards to, and I guess you could give the testament to Coach Allen and Coach Norvell leading up to the week with the crowd noise. It's just a communication factor. The right guard, pretty much, he was looking back every time in regards to Jordan Travis, making sure he was going through his cadences and things like that. And once Trav gave him the signal, he'll end up tapping Mo Smith to snap the ball. So I thought that was a pretty good game plan. It was real fluid. It was real clean. We didn't really look clunky. We didn't have a bunch of false starts or anything like that. The snaps and everything like that was pretty good for the most part. And also hats off to Mo Smith for coming back, man. We missed him a lot, and he played a big role, a huge role. We got to do better as far as pass protection too. And I think we did do better down the stretch in pass pro as far as making a switch. Jeremiah Byers, to be completely honest, he's been recently, it hasn't been good. He's been getting pretty much killed on the edge and within the last recent games. And Xavier Thomas was eating his lunch for the most part of the game. Clemson ended up having 2 sacks, but they got a lot more pressures with Xavier Thomas getting back. So we made a switch, and hats off to Darius Washington for being prepared and being ready. Was talking to his uncle at the spring game last year, and just how much Alex Atkins values Darius Washington being able to play multiple positions, right? So once Mo Smith went down, Darius Washington was to start as center. Jeremiah Byers wasn't doing too hot. Atkins ended up putting, Darius Washington at right tackle and did a fairly good job against their pass rush with the defensive ends and Xavier Thomas and things like that. So shout out to Coach Atkins for making that switch and just for Darius Washington to being prepared because the switch wasn't made until maybe like 5 or 6, halfway through the fourth quarter. So to be prepared in that regard and, being ready once his number was called and to play the way he did, that's why I think Darius Washington is a very key piece to our offensive line. A jack of all trades, so to speak. You pretty much play all 5 positions on the offensive line. So to have him come in and to be effective in that situation was pretty good. Also, we're going into a bye, so it's perfect timing for Robert Scott to get healthy and hopefully lock down that right tackle position. Receivers look pretty well, and I think also I don't think we'll see any better corners. And I also want to give a shout out to Nate Wiggins, man. Hope prayers up to him. The number 2, the stud cornerback for Clemson, ended up getting hurt pretty much on the last play of regulation on that last pass to Keon Coleman. Hope the kid is all right. He's a playmaker. But I said that to say this. I don't think this for the regular season. I don't think we'll face better cornerbacks than what we've seen within Clemson. So long physical corners, big guys as well that can play man coverage. That's pretty much all Clemson played against us was man coverage. But at the same time, like Jordan Travis stated, it's disrespectful if you're going to play us in man coverage with the type of receivers we had. And Johnny Wilson and Keon Coleman made some big plays. Man, shout out to Johnny Wilson. There's 2 games in a row we strung some big plays and big games together. 5 catches for 94 yards, and Keon Coleman, of course, had 5 for 86 with those 2 key touchdowns. Johnny made some big time plays on third down, some tough catches across the middle. So we always kind of that's the frustration with Johnny, right? He makes the tough ones and drop the easy ones. But again, this game he had a lot of focus. Really good job. Want to give a shout out to him. But yeah, that was the main takeaway from the game. I think that D-Low turnover was the turning point of the game. And also Clemson, and we kind of highlighted this earlier in the week. Well, not we didn't highlight it, but it was kind of highlighted from the Clemson reporter in regards to the kicking situation. They had a walk-on kicker that pretty much started this week of practice because the previous kicker wasn't getting it done. So anything outside of the 20, I was pretty much confident in those guys missing it. But he made some red zone kicks and things like that. But for him to miss that last red zone kick to kind of put them ahead, just lets you know, man, game of football, especially kicking itself, is really crazy. When you have that, how can I put this? When you have that uncertainty within your kicker game and things like that, and we kind of seen it with Fitzgerald last year, where confidence kind of gets shook, and when confidence gets shook by a kicker, it could be pretty bad. So, but again, it fell in FSU's favor this year as far as that, because to be honest with you, if they make that field goal, it'd have been. I know our game plan would have changed a lot down the stretch for that last possession before regulation, if they would have made that field goal. But as you guys see, we had to go for it on fourth down. It was looking like a 56-yard field goal for Fitzgerald, so we had to go for it on that 4th and 10 on the last possession of the game, just to try to give ourselves a little more wiggle room. Jordan Travis looked pretty good, 21 of 37, 289 yards, pretty solid. But and people was talking about the secondary. The FSU secondary didn't do totally bad. We had a couple busts down the stretch. The one play where Greedy Vance got beat, where Clemson pretty much it was like a 30-yard pass down the middle and got to like the 1 yard line or so. But I mean, at the same time, Klubnik had 38 attempts, 25 completions for an average of 7.4 yards, 283 yards, and only 1 touchdown. So by the numbers, that's not a bad day at the office defensively. But we just got to get better in some aspects. There's still some issues on third down. There's a couple of 39s we gave up, and third and longs, that we gave up. We just got to get better on third downs. That's my only issue, so to speak. It's just those conversion downs and money downs. We have to get better within that situation. We have to get better. We held Will Shipley had him under control for the most part. 18 carries for 67 yards, 1 touchdown. Phil Maffa, pretty good running back as well, big guy, number 7. He has 10 carries for 69 yards, but he had that long run thing, like 40 or so yards, that pretty much got the majority of that. So defensively, it wasn't bad, but at the same time, we can't keep giving up more than 400 yards a game. Like that just it has to be better. Has to be better. But again, I got to talk about the atmosphere itself. It was a crazy atmosphere. Clemson came for blood. They knew what was at stake. They didn't want to go 0-2 in the conference. The start of the season 0-2 in the conference. Dabo pretty much put all his chips in the bag for this one, just to kind of get this win, because as you guys know, if you go 0-2 in the conference, it's real tough to kind of fight out that hole. You got to have some luck down the stretch to kind of pull it out. But to get that win 31-24 in OT, giving their first home loss since 2016. And also, we haven't beat them since 2014 at all. You guys know Clemson as being one of our Achilles heels and just getting over that hump. So to beat the Clemson Tigers, I feel like it was a monkey off our back, so to speak, just to get over that hump. And I think it'll be a relief for the players just moving forward. But I do think this bye week is coming at the perfect time. But I don't think we'll see a defense as good as Miami's, or not Miami, I'm kind of looking here, right? I don't think we'll see a defense as good as Clemson's, from a defensive line standpoint, linebacker standpoint, and a secondary standpoint, to be completely honest with you. But yeah, I just can't stop thinking about that D-Lo play, man. It was crazy. And also, hats off to the FSU fans that came and showed up. Shout out to the FSU fans that came and showed up. And also, just want to let you guys know that we have been monetized a little bit. We're doing pretty well as far as the viewership, the subscriptions, and things like that. So we do have Super Chat available. So not a lot of people have been asking me about Super Chats and things like that. If you guys want to donate or have a Super Chat question asked, specifically for you, go ahead and get it going. Or I think we do have one actually. Let's go ahead and
Florida
play it
State,
out.
your brothers, your team, your heartbeat. We some dogs. We ain't no puppies.
Ain't no puppies, baby. We some dogs. Ain't no puppies. All right. Shout out to Dr. Barry, man. Big friend of the show. What do you think about Travis and his lack of keeping the ball on those reads as far as helping the run game, CJ? That's a good point, too. But we do know that Trav has been battling that shoulder injury. It was a couple times where he got hit and things like that, and he was wincing a little bit after getting up. And just looking at his mannerisms on the sideline, because I was at the game, he was definitely a little hurt in regards to some of those hits. So I think that may play a factor in it as well. But I'll be honest with you, I thought this was a game that we had to bring out Jordan Travis' running ability just for that simple fact that Clemson D-line is hella good. Not just the D-line, the whole defense is damn good. Defensive line, linebackers, we all know the players they have, right? So that's a very good point. I do think some pulls would be key in regards to respecting the run game more, or respecting Travis more as a threat. We have to get better than that. Maybe that's something going into this bye week, we could kind of get a little bit more healthier, of course, and then moving forward we can use that in the table, because you look at the bigger games like the better defenses we played last year, the bigger games. Clemson last year, he ran the ball. He ran the ball a lot. Florida last year, Oklahoma. So those type of games, we had to depend on Jordan Travis' legs. I believe if FSU wants to get where they want to get offensively, we have to use his legs. And I know it's been a focus on his passing game and how much he's improved in the pass game. But at the same time, Jordan Travis, you're still Jordan Travis, and don't lose sight of what made you Jordan Travis. You can be an elite passer and lead in the pass game and still be an elite runner as well. That's what makes you dynamic. That's what makes you Jordan Travis. So if you can do both, you're just that harder to defend, right? So I do think we need to get back into more so of a focus in regards to running the football. Road Noah, what's good? Let's go ahead and play my theme music.
I saw a wide ass open hole and I just hit that bitch.
Shout out to Kevin LeBoy, man. Wish you'd have panned out, man. Big time playmaker. Did his thing at Marshall. What do you think about Leicester and Florida? I don't think too much of it. We'll see how it plays out a little bit. You gotta let these kids enjoy their visits a little bit too. He did say he's still 100% locked in. We'll monitor as the season goes on. If he keeps popping up to Florida, you guys all know the trends when it comes to recruiting, right? Multiple unofficial visits, things like that. Visit right before Sunday. He said he may take a possible December official visit to Florida, but I'm not really reading too much into Charles Lester. As you guys know, he grew up a big time Noles fan, so I think we're good in that regard. Just got to let it play out a little bit. We'll monitor that situation. If he gets back on FSU campus and things like that, we should be okay. It's just something to watch for now. It's not nothing I'm going to be too worried about at this point in time. I was going to address that later in the show, but I appreciate you asking it right now, Road. No, really appreciate that. But I think we'll be okay in regards to Charles Lester. Just gotta let it play out a little bit. These kids going to take their visits and things like that, but nothing too big. You got another one? Let's go, man. Play my
Tell them to bring me my money.
Yeah! Yes, sir. Tanya, appreciate it. Big friend of the show. 4-0, baby. Go Noles. 4-0. It feel good, don't it? Feel damn good. Let's talk about that real quick. 4-0. I think we have the best fucking resume in the country, excuse my language, at this point in the season. We have a neutral site win against LSU, top 5 opponent at that point in time, and a road game win against Clemson, who hasn't lost. This is their second home loss, their second home loss since 2016, their first conference loss since 2016. To go in that environment in Death Valley and come away with a win, hats off to those guys. We had a lot of things that kind of went wrong along the way too. Those guys stayed in the moment, didn't let the crowd get to them, didn't let the situation get to them, and things like that. Let's go, man. Let's keep it rolling. We got some more. Boom, boom. Sorry, the font is kind of small, so I gotta zoom in a little bit to see it. What was worse yesterday? Dibby's hairline or Simon? Brandon's hilarious, man. I want to give Brandon some flowers real quick too before I read the rest of your super chat. Brandon was the first person on the Jordan Travis train, like literally the first person on the Jordan Travis train. He saw I don't know what the hell he saw at that point in time. He saw something in Jay Trav the way, he wanted us to believe in him and let things play out. And sure enough, it played out. And Jordan Travis is a player we are today. So Brandon definitely, he reminded me all the damn time. But again, he was definitely one of the first guys in regards to that. What was worse yesterday? Dibby's hairline or Cypress and Noles in coverage. And should Big Game cut his locks? Yeah, should Big Game cut his locks off? Go Noles. Yeah, Big Game should definitely cut his locks off and enjoying Dibby, right? But no, seriously, yeah, Cypress gave us some stuff, but at the same time, it was none of the none of the stuff we really gave. None of the stuff we really gave was big plays down the field. We had a couple big plays down the field in the past game, maybe like 2 or 3. That may have been it. I haven't had a chance to watch the condensed version on YouTube yet. As I told you guys, we're kind of traveling, but yeah, a lot of that stuff was pretty much underneath stuff. At the same time, it was for first downs, though, right? And that's something I've been kind of harping on for the longest. We got to get off the field on third down. So if we can tighten up our damn man coverage on third downs, we got to get better. And Kevin knows, to your point, yeah, we got to get better in coverage. Also to get better in tackling. He missed a lot of open field tackles. So we got to get better in that regard. I do know Dent will be coming back pretty soon. I expect him back for the Virginia Tech game. So if we could get him back for the Virginia Tech game, that'll definitely help us out in the secondary, especially in the back on the safety position. Because we, coming to the season, we knew this is a position that we're lacking depth in. So if we had an injury within the safety room, it could get kind of ugly. And we've seen that injury. We just got to get back healthy to get going. But I am impressed with the young guys, to the freshmen. I feel like the longer the season goes, the more we'll see Hussey getting some reps and things like that. Let's go. I think we got another one. Let's bring it up. Roll
We ain't
no.
leaving without a victory. We ain't leaving without a victory.
We damn sure ain't leave it without a victory, man. I love it. Why Keziah Holmes not getting any carries? That's a very good question. I want to see him a little bit more as well, him and Rodney Hill, because that Southern Miss game, he was really explosive. We haven't seen the last 2 games. I'm not sure if there's something going on. I'm going to try to look into that. But I do think we got to get him more involved as well. Hell, but we got to get – I know the running game wasn't working, but I do want us to try to, in this Virginia Tech game, commit to it a little bit more. Because just looking at the attempts a little bit, want to go over some of the carries that we did have. Like I said, Trey Benson only had 7 carries. Rodney Hill only 3. Tofu 2. So we're talking about 3 running backs with 12 carries within the game. That's not winning football. That's not good football. That's not a winning formula. Luckily, we won the game, but moving forward within the season, that doesn't want that. I don't want that to become a regular, right? You don't want to have your running backs, 3 running backs at that, just have 12 carries within the entire game. So that's something we definitely have to change moving forward. Just commit more to it. And like I said, hopefully this week, that's something that we're going to be focusing on. Of course, getting healthy for one, but secondly, getting better within the run game. And commit to it more. So 12 carries within those guys isn't good at all. But man, I just want to talk about Caden Deloach again, man. Like, he really played a fucking football game, a complete football game. And he doesn't get enough flowers just for everything he does, man. But 7 tackles, that sack with the forced fumble, of course, the fumble recovery and the touchdown. Big-time players make big-time plays and big-time games. And Caden Deloach is a big-time player. Shaheem Brown, too, he had a hell of a game, too. 8 tackles, made a couple of tackles close to the line of scrimmage. But we got to tighten up in the secondary. I do agree on that. Shout out Johnson, man. Appreciate it. Big friend of the show.
I said, are you strong? They said, I'm strong if you strong. And I said, we strong then.
We strong then. Well, I know balls to the slot guys. That's been something I've been talking about as well, man. We got to get those guys involved. I feel like the middle of the field, maybe not this game. I don't think the middle of the field was that open this game. Clemson did a pretty good job of defending us. I'm not going to lie. They had a pretty damn good game plan. Talking to my brother leading up into the game, and after the game, just seeing some of the stuff they had drawn up, it was a pretty good game plan. I just don't think with our offense, even with great defenses, things like that, we're still going to get ours in a certain aspect because we're just that damn good offensively. I think Mike is a pretty good play caller in that regards. But yeah, we do got to get the slot guys more involved. I do agree. The first couple of games, I felt like they were wide open within the slot. Destin Hill, Winston Wright, and of course, Jaheim Bell. We got Jaheim Bell more involved in the Boston College game. Try to get him involved a little bit in this game. There was a couple of pass interferences they didn't call and things like that. But yeah, that's where we're at with that. I do think we need to get more involved with the slot guys. But with this past game, It really wasn't there. Clemson did a pretty good job of just covering things. Shit, we got another one. Let's keep it rolling, man. Play my theme music.
Tell them to bring me my money.
Travis Sloan, appreciate you, bro. Appreciate the love. What you think? What do you think? I'm sorry, it's kind of small. 1 second. Let me try to make this a little bigger. Carla, can you text it to me so I can check it out? Because it's real small on the screen. My apologies. I'm gonna get to your super chat real quick. I'm getting a little older, man. I ain't got my glasses on. Toughest game left on the schedule. Well, I think the toughest game left on the schedule is. That's a damn good question. That's a damn good question. Toughest game left on the schedule. The Duke Blue Devils are looking pretty tough, right? We got Duke at home, but Duke is Mike Elko's doing a hell of a job. I'll probably say Miami is the toughest game left on the schedule from an athlete standpoint. They have the athletes. They look pretty good offensively. I think moving on from Gaddis and getting this guy in from Houston, he's doing a pretty good job. They have some solid receivers. Okay, quarterback. Now, granted, I don't think you got to look at their schedule as well, too. Miami has had a cupcake schedule. Let's be completely honest. It's been a cupcake schedule to this point, and it's pretty much always with Miami. But they have looked pretty good. I think Miami could be the toughest game, but I would probably say Miami. And Cuse is undefeated too, man. Shout out to Dino Babers. People don't give Dino Babers enough love, right? Dino has done a hell of a job at Syracuse. Great Garrett Schrader is back. He's been making a lot of plays. We got them at home as well. We don't have a road. That's another thing too. October is going to be very good for us in regards to what we got going on. We don't have a road game at all within October. We're going to be at home for the whole month of October. So I would probably say Miami, Duke, and Florida will probably be the toughest 3 games we have, with Miami probably being the toughest one. Again, we have Miami at home, but I think that'll probably be the toughest remaining game that we have. And you can't count on Syracuse. So those would be 4 games I would keep an eye on, so to speak, as far as just where we're at with it. But I'll say Miami's probably the toughest game. And Duke pretty much, it was close with Duke. It was a toss-up with Duke and Miami, in my opinion. But I go with Miami as the toughest game. We got another one. Give it to me.
It has been all Noles. They came here to break Miami's will.
I mean, dominant. Absolutely dominant.
Make them quit tonight.
Make them quit. Oh, can't wait to beat Miami ass again. What we got for this one, man? Who is this in regards to the super chat? Let's see. Oh, can you send me this one as well? I'm not sure why. This is just real small on my end. My apologies. Problem with the run game, O-line or backs not hitting the hole. I'm sorry, I can't see your name right now. I get that. Got to get your shout out. It's real low for me. My apologies. Is that Kisa? What's that name? My apologies. Keys 2K. Yeah, problem with the run game, O-line or not. I think it's a combination of both. I don't think we're getting enough push on the offensive line. I don't think we're getting enough push in certain situations. I also think we're reading some wrong holes too. We're not being patient enough as well in regards to letting the holes develop. That's something that Trayshawn, I don't want to keep harping on this, but that's something that Trayshawn Ward was very good at. Very, very good at. He was very patient, letting the holes open up, or just the defensive line creating the holes by trying to get out of that gas, and then he'll explode for the run. As you know, after 10 yards, Trayshawn was pretty much out of explosion. But within those 10 yards and just reading holes, Trayshawn Ward is damn good. So I think it's a combination of both. Offensive line not really getting too much of a push, and also our run game is slow developing, right? Those counters and things are real slow developing runs. So we have a aggressive defensive line that gets upfield like Clemson, rather. That's really tough when you have slow developing offensive plays within the run game. So that's a combination of both. The offensive line not getting pushed, or combination of 3 things. Offensive line not getting pushed, slow developing run plays, and also running backs not reading the proper holes on certain carries. Well, we could get better in that situation. I really believe that. No, man,
We got the best running back quarterback in the whole damn league. And we got a quarterback that's gonna toss that thing.
Let's go toss that thing, baby. Hey man, Jameis gave us some quotes, man. Jameis gave us some amazing fucking quotes, man. My man played nobody. They fools gold. I agree they haven't played anybody, but to this point they look pretty good. So just got to give them respect to this point. I do want to see a little bit more from Miami once they get in the conference play and things like that. But again, like I say, you play Texas A&M, play Bethune-Cookman, shout out to the Wildcats, play Miami of Ohio, and then play Temple on the road. That's crazy. Play Temple on the road, then yeah, the schedule to this point has been pretty weak. But at the same time, and they have looked pretty good. And they've done what they're supposed to do within those games, right? Schedule's pretty weak. What you're supposed to dominate those teams on the schedule. That's what they've been doing for the most part. So got to give them their credit in that regard. But you're right, that schedule has been very weak to this point. All right, guys, I think we're going to jump into some callers for a second. But I do want to touch into some recruiting real quick. Let me wrap this thing up with as far as the Clemson game. Big time win on the road. Big time win. I don't care how the hell it looked ugly. We covered the spread, right? The spread was like 2.5, and I think kept going down closer towards game time. People talking about how close we played and things like that. We covered the fucking spread. So what are we complaining about? But at the same time, I don't care how ugly it was. It was a blowout, close, overtime. We haven't beaten these guys since 2014. This has been Clemson's league for close to a damn decade. They've been running the ACC for close to a damn decade. So to go in their house, someplace they haven't lost a conference game in 7 years, and to pull that victory out, and the team we haven't beat since 2014, we could beat them by 1 damn point, a half a point. I wouldn't give a damn. As long as we win, I'm happy with that win. And to get that Clemson monkey off our back, like Jordan Travis and those guys kind of said in the locker room, like that's a huge relief for us. I'm pretty sure it's a huge relief for Mike Norvell as well. So to get that win against Clemson, I don't care how the hell we got it. I'm just glad we got it. Saw Kenny Shaw at the game, saw Everett Dawkins, those guys on the sideline hanging out. So I thought that was pretty cool as well. And just the fans that came out, hung out with Rob DeLoach. As you guys see, Rob DeLoach was at the game hanging out. And also, son Jalen, pretty much everybody saw the picture of Jalen with his shirt on and things like that. Jalen was probably our biggest damn cheerleader. He was right in front of me. He was probably our biggest damn cheerleader right down there on the first row, hyping the guys up and things like that. So just to see everyone kind of come out, saw a lot of FSU fans that came up for the game and just support. That shows that people are starting to buy in and believe what we have. And I think the Noles fan base is pretty much damn second to none, literally second to none. Especially when we're winning, man, we travel well. We want to support our Noles. I saw a lot of people on the road back, a lot of go Noles and things like that, doing the chop on the way down on 75 and things like that. So shout out to you guys for coming to show up. But a big time win against the Clemson Tigers. We were talking about the first 4 games and how tough the first 4 games were for us in those two games specifically in LSU and Clemson. So again, to beat LSU how we did in convincing fashion and neutral site, well, I ain't gonna say it was neutral site on paper, but as you guys know, we took over Orlando, right? And also to have a big time road win against Clemson. These are 2 of the most talented teams in the country on paper, both preseason top 10 teams. So to have a 4-0 start, and to kind of go into this bye week and lick our wounds a little bit because we are kind of banged up, I think it's perfect for us in regards to the rest of the season. You guys remember last year that bye week we had, I forget which week it was, had a bye week and then we went that long road down the stretch. So you see that along the way. That's a really good thing for us. But let's go ahead and come on, boy James Coleman in here real quick. I want to touch a couple things recruiting. Just a few things. I'm going to go behind the trail, on the trail. And on the trail is brought to you by Realtor Jude Paul. Jude is a realtor in Southwest Florida, but services the entire state of Florida. Buy or sell it, any buy or sell of your home, Jude is willing to give you up to 20% of the closing costs. So again, if you're selling your home or if you're buying a new home, 20% of the closing costs, you're donating it right back to you. And also, Jude is a node. He's trying to help out the nodes as well. So if you're buying or sell, he also donate a portion of the proceeds to Battles In. You can contact Jude at 239-321-6994. Again, that's 239-321-6994. Shout out to Jude, man. Make sure you guys, if you're trying to buy or sell, that's the realtor you want to go through. A couple kids want to talk about Nikar. We spoke on him a bunch of times on the show. Big time receiver out of Georgia, Colquitt County. Decommitted from the Georgia Bulldogs today. To be honest with you, it was a surprise to me. I didn't see this coming at all. I know we've been pushing for pushing his recruitment and things like that. He is teammates with Landon Thomas, the 5-star tight end commit. We've been recruiting this kid for a long time. Big time dynamic playmaker, can take a 10-yard play and take it 60 yards to the house. Just that type of dynamic athlete. I know Miami, Auburn, and a few other schools are pretty much in it for him. I think Miami will probably be a solid threat. But he said he's going to take an official visit for in Colorado as well. Colorado was in it. I think he's going to Colorado this weekend for the USC game. Yes, Auburn lined up pretty soon. He'll be on campus for the Miami game. He did take an unofficial visit for the Southern Miss game. Enjoyed how we tossed the ball around to the receivers. So I think we're in a good spot for now. We just keep doing what we're doing, and we dominate Miami once we come. I'm pretty sure Doak will be rocking. It'll be a dope atmosphere that could help us out as well. So again, this is a guy we've been recruiting for a long time, and he a dynamic playmaker, big time playmaker. I know Kirby's going to be pissed at us, all the kids we've been taking from him as of late. And of course, we spoke about Charles Lester a little bit. We addressed the super chat from Road No, but yeah, Charles Lester did take an unofficial visit to Florida for that sloppy game. I mean, a terrible game against Charlotte. Those guys scored a touchdown the first possession, didn't score for the rest of the damn game, like 5 field goals. But he was there, said he'll possibly take an official visit in December there. They're the only school, of course, aside from us, that's been contacting him. But he did say he's 100% locked in with a Noles. I'm not really concerned about Charles Lester at all. You got to let these kids do their thing in regards to, enjoying the process. That's all we got for On the Trail. We don't give my boy big game in and talk a little bit. James, what's good?
Hear me?
Oh, I can hear you. Fine and clear.
Okay, cool. I got that. Me and technology don't always work. What I want to start off with, I was trying to give you the super chat so I can cuss, but fuck Brandon. I want to say that, even though that's my dog. Don't ever compare me and Dibby's hairlines.
Hey man, if you got a man on Twitter, James and Dibby be going back and forth with the hairline jokes, man. It's hilarious.
And then Reggie, getting his ass whooped right now, I think, in the group chat, Fantasy Football League, though. So that's still my dog, though. But Brandon was, I ain't even gonna lie, man. He saw that J Trav thing before everybody. I remember we was chilling on a beach in the Dominican. That's where the nickname on Twitter comes from, Sasua. We was hanging out, and he was just like, J Trav is really the best quarterback on the team, and that's what we need to do. He's like, that'll save Tag's job. And I'm just like, man, I don't know, man. Like they said this boy can't really throw the ball. He's not a thrower of the football. And, it was just like, I remember him having that faith. And then one day they gave my guy a chance, and actually I remember we could have lost to Jacksonville State COVID year. We should have lost to them. He came in and definitely said
start that game.
Yeah, Tate. That's when I said, and I think one of the things that a lot of people don't realize is sometimes you gotta be able to just eat some crow, man, just backtrack. Like with Tate, I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm probably one of the biggest Tate Rodemaker haters because of the Jacksonville State game. I said I don't want to ever see that boy throw a football at Florida State again. At one point, I thought he didn't even like Florida State. I questioned if he was a good person. And then he came back and did his thing against Louisville, and I was like, tits for Tate. But now it's tits for Fitz, man. Shout out to my guy Fitz out there doing his thing, kicking the ball the right way. And if anybody's too Christian or you don't understand, you've never seen college, you've never been on a college campus, a lot of decisions in life can be made by a nice boxing bosom college girl that can make you want to live your life the right way. So I'm glad he's kicking. He made a kick that mattered. If he didn't make that kick, we in a situation like the other one. So, but I liked them going to Death Valley, and that was my first time going, not as a player. And I was at one. I would have decommitted if they'd have made me keep going up and down that damn hill. But outside of that, it was beautiful, man. The fans was crazy. It was cool. And just I like to shout out to all the people who made that trip. We was deep on that on the field. And I'm gonna get me a pair of them I think they call bibs. I'm gonna get them overalls. I already don't wear draws, so I'm not wearing no shirt, no nothing. I'm rocking the overalls, one unbuckle like back in the day for the VTech game. And we're gonna have a great ass time. We're gonna party up, man. But them boys got a hard fought win though, man.
I got a question to ask you, bro. How long did it take you within the game to take that jacket off?
Man, you know what? So I had to go in official. So I couldn't wear my
You
colors like I wanted to.
definitely want to scout in Florida State. I promise you that.
Yeah, nah, I told him. So what happened was I wasn't even supposed to be on the sideline, man. I just told them I knew CJ, and then they let me on. But I was there for the Gator Bowl, so I can go to any ACC game, SEC game that I want to. So I just said I'm gonna go see Clemson, Florida State, and then I'm gonna go see Pitt, Florida State as well. And so you go down there. That jacket with that patch is official. That lets you get into a lot of shit that you wouldn't normally get into. So the security let us on, and I told my guys like, "Hey, bro, if we stay over here on Clemson sideline, I don't know anybody over here." I was like, "They're gonna ask us to get up out of here." I said, "But if we can get over to that Florida State sideline, we just walk with a purpose." I said, "I promise you, they're not gonna kick me off over there. They're gonna see us talk to so many people." And we was there, but it was hot though. But it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
I
Like,
just the sun. It was no clouds. The sun was just
yeah,
12 o'clock, no cloud in the sky. That's all it really was.
like Florida is hot in the shade. There,
Mm-hmm.
you get to the shade, you cool, you good to go. But when we got up into that press box, man, I definitely took that jacket off.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I was like, man, I wonder how long my boy had that jacket on because being in the stands a little bit with no cloud in the sky, I was feeling it a little bit. At the same time, like you said, it wasn't too hot. It was just the sun was just out.
But it was out there, Jimmy Sexton, and so might keep winning. Don't be surprised if we hear some stuff because I didn't know Jimmy Sexton really existed, but I saw him. Man, he cool as hell, man. He sounded like Roseanne, the dad from Roseanne. His name is John Candy. Like you see him and you be like, I swear to God, he ate like 10 glizzies up there in the press box, man. Like he
Oh, he an
big for a
animal.
reason.
He a glizzy globber then, huh?
Glizzy goblin, dog. Like he didn't go for the burgers. He didn't go for nothing else. He just like every time I would look up and I see him, he eating a hot dog. Then I turn, watch the game. I look back, he got another hot dog. But we sat down and chopped it up, man. He was cool people.
Oh, that's diabolical. That's
But
real
anyways,
diabolical.
man, good show, bro. I just wanted to come in, show some love, man. I'm gonna go listen to these comments, but I just had to get on here and just talk about my dog Brandon and shout out to Dibby. Ever since Dibby started polishing his forehead, Tua's been playing better and the Noles have been playing better, man. We just gotta keep that man with the faith.
Hey, appreciate the love, dog, and it was good seeing you Saturday as well.
Yeah.
All right, we got a couple super chats you want to address real quick. Let's throw them up. Play my theme music.
Florida State, your brothers, your team, your heartbeat. We some dogs. We ain't no puppies.
Shout out to my boy Ant for the donation again. Friend of the show. Start making those reservations for Houston. People, y'all heard them. Start making those reservations for Houston. My shit is already locked in. I'm ready to party in Houston. They say, everything's bigger in Texas. We have a good damn time in Houston. So go ahead and get them reservations while they're still cheap. Got another one.
Tell them to bring me my money.
Shout out to Roll No 36 and CJ are the best bad man in the business. We do what we can, baby. We love them knows. We gonna take care of business. We got to take care of the business. All right, let's go. I think we got some more callers in the chamber. Let's jump into it. Who we got next? Okay, bet.
Ooh, what's good, CJ?
KP,
What's good, CJ?
how you feeling, my brother? How you feeling? 4-0.
Man, listen, I'm already I'm on one right now.
Let us smell your cologne a little bit, dog. Let us smell your cologne a little bit.
Listen, I'm over here sipping on the gin right now, sipping on gin and juice, vibing over here. They can't tell me nothing now. 4-0? 4-0? Didn't we call this before the season? Didn't we say after we run down on LSU, we gonna run down on Clemson, and then we gonna go into this bye week with this next 4 weeks and just make sure that we laying everybody down the way it's supposed to be before we get to Duke? I don't want to hear nothing out of anybody else. Tiny Hat Gang, we are in here today. I got on the midnight black for everybody because it's about to get dark for the rest of the ACC and college football. I don't want to hear nothing out of them. I'm wearing the midnight black hat. I got on my garnet and gold until I'm dead and cold shirt. And whenever somebody want to come talk to us about any football, they got to come talk about 4 wins and 0 losses out here. That's what we doing over here. All right. I don't want to hit it. Florida State is on top of the game, and all we doing is getting better. And here's the scary part. We haven't even played our best football yet.
At all.
See, these boys out here.
In neither game.
Right, these boys out here talking about, y'all look bad in the first half against this team, in the second half against this team, and the excuses for that. No. See, here's what y'all don't understand. We got a bye week. That's week 1. When we come back from the bye, we got a Virginia Tech team that might as well be on Miami's schedule because they look like a FCS squad out here since they don't play nobody else. All right. Then we go after that. We go to Syracuse, and Syracuse has been our winter home up there. We got a log cabin up there in
Nope.
Syracuse at
That's a
this
home
point.
game, baby. That's a home
Right.
game.
We got a whole log cabin up there. We can go up there, light a fire, sip some brandy, and lay on top of the bearskin rug up there in Syracuse. And then we come back and we go play Duke. See, before the season started, it was supposed to be Florida State, Clemson, and we'll see whatever else falls out. And it turns out that Duke somehow decided that they wanted to put their big boy pants on and come play ball. Cool. You're going to have to come see us. And when we run down on Duke, after that, everybody else on the schedule can go sit down somewhere. Because if we done got through all of this so far, I don't see nothing on the schedule that's going to stop us. Miami ain't played nobody that's better than anybody we played. Florida, we ain't even going to dress them. And anybody else that's coming across this got to see us. All roads go through Tallahassee. And that's how we going to rock out here.
All roads go through the crib. 100%, I agree. 100%, I
Facts.
agree.
Facts.
100%. Talk that talk, baby. You ain't lying, man. But I do agree. We in the perfect thing about October is we got most of those are home games, so we should be good to go. And then November, like you said, I feel like it's gonna be a replica of last year. How we kind of got clicking after that bye week and things just started rolling on all cylinders. Defense started playing great. Offense was out of his mind with those 30+ points games that the street that we're still currently on again, rather. So I think the chips line up perfectly for FSU. Like I said, the big issue, well, not big necessarily big issue, the big concern we had was that first 4 games, right? In 2 hours, we got through those unscathed, so we're good to go.
Facts. And see, that's what I love about what I've seen so far. Yes, there are some things I'm not happy with. I'm not happy with the lack of the pass rush. I'm not happy with the run game. I'm not happy with the lack of Jordan running. What I want to see how they progress over this next 4 weeks. But with the schedule shaping up the way that it is, before the season, I thought that Pittsburgh could potentially be a trap for us because that's before the Miami game. I thought that Boston College could be a trap for us because that's right before Clemson. And I'm like, wait a minute. We done got through those big tests there. So this team has been tested. We went to OT against the team that's beaten us, 7 years in a row? And we came out of there with the dub on the road? And now they want to look at us and say, oh, well, y'all didn't do this. No, let's talk about what we did do. We went up there and took out somebody that's been harassing us. And we went up there and said, hey, run us our money. We
But let's
ran
think about
their
the first 4
pockets.
games though, real quick though, bro. It was a neutral site against LSU. They were coming against Southern Miss. We had one home game within the 4, and that was against the Southern Miss team that won a bowl game this year, and they're going to be pretty solid this year. Then we go on the road to Boston College for the red bandana. Then we go on the road to Clemson to probably the most hostile environment in the ACC. Let's keep it a being, right?
Right.
Probably the most hostile environment in the ACC. So I think that's some impressive ass shot. I don't think no team in the country has a better resume within these first 4 games.
Exactly. And when you look and stack the Florida State resume up against everybody else, then what do? They didn't try to move the goalpost. Oh, well, how did you look? Well, what do you mean, how did we look? The first game of the season, y'all always say is a toss-up, and we went out there and handled the LSU squad. The 4th game of the season, we played a Clemson team that everybody else had as running away with the ACC yet again. We went up there and handled that. So why y'all can't give us our due? Give us our respect. We can see how the polls are treating us. That we went from 3rd, we win a game, they drop us to 4th. We win a game and then they drop us to 5th. So they itching to drop us. And all we got to do is keep handling business. All the haters can keep talking. All we gonna do is keep stacking up them dubs. And as the season go, all of that talk gonna change. Oh well, we gonna see what it's like when you play Duke, and then we gonna run down on Duke, and they gonna say, oh well, it's still Duke. Oh well, we gonna see what y'all do against Pittsburgh, and we gonna run down on Pittsburgh. Well, let's see what you look like against Miami offense. Miami, by the time they play us, gonna be unplayed two games worth talking about. They played St. Thomas Aquinas High School, Blanche Ely High School, and the Alabama A&M School for the Deaf, Dumb, and Blind. And y'all want to sit here and brag about how Miami should be ranked in the top 25? Man, go sit down somewhere with all of that. Florida State is only going up. We going rung by rung, climbing this ladder, and we going to kick everybody else that's trying to drag us back to the dirt trash barrels that they should be in. Get out of our way and let us keep rolling. That's what we do. I want to hit nothing out of them. Florida State 4-0, CJ. We 4-0 right now. And it's going to be 5-0, 6-0, and 7-0. And then let's hear what the haters got to say then. We're going to hear what the haters got to say then. We're going to do them just like we did before. Just look at them and go, why are you in my neighborhood? Get back over there and cut my grass and take the clippings out to the side of the road and tell the Miami fans to come pick up the trash on time and get out of our neighborhood before we have to call somebody on.
That's the only way you get in that gated community is picking up our damn trash.
Exactly. Exactly. Florida go clean our pool, and Miami go come pick this trash up and get up out of here. That's what y'all can do. Tired
I
of all of
love
this
it.
nonsense. Florida State on the way up, baby. Florida State on the way up, and we still doing this.
I love it, KP. I love it. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. It's always a
Yes, sir.
pleasure.
Noles up, Tiny Hat Game, CJ, all the love, Playboy. And when we come back again in 2 weeks, I'm telling you right now, I'm selling out even harder because I done broke out the second of 3 different tiny hats I got this season. And I can't wait. I can't wait until we pull out the third one. Because when I come out here with that one, I might even throw on the fur. I might throw on a fur in South Florida on these boys just because I can. Because we regal over here. Royalty, baby. Royalty. Tiny Hat Game, we out.
My boy, I love you, KP, dog. Appreciate the love. Reggie, talk to me, brother.
First off, man, I just want to say pause. James did not have to come on here and tell us he don't wear drawers. We did not need to know that bit of information. One bit. And he's only up on me by 10 points in fantasy right now, but that's another story.
Who you got left, dog? Who you got left? Who you got left? Who you got
Bro,
left to
I'm
play?
just happy, bro. Man, I don't even know, man. Shit. I got T. Wiggins. Somebody else. He probably gonna beat me, dog. But hey, we ain't gonna talk about that. I'm doing bad in fantasy this year. I just suck up. Noles keep winning, I'll be fine. And if our Ravens can,
They
find some
get healthy,
injury help,
right?
bro, we'll be great. My God, man, I just don't, bro. I've never seen nothing like this before in football, bro.
Dog, that many
It's crazy,
starters too.
bro. It's bad, but I'm just thankful, man, that I had to see Dabo be so humble Dabo Weenie be so humble at his press conference and give us praise and have to get the more victories out of that loss. We had on the 17 points, blah blah
Mhm.
blah. Cool, but just to go up there, man, get that dub, get out of there, and I think, man, rest of the season, bro, is just. I think that's off our back. I think these boys, honestly, man, they get a little bit healthy and they can just play like we know they can play, man, and dominate the rest of the season on out.
I agree. I agree 100%. Like I said, that's the big monkey off our back. First of all, like I said, we've been banged up this early portion of the season. Offensive linemen now, defensive backs out, and not just them. It's multiple positions that's been dinged up a little bit too. We haven't seen Keetron Portier this season at all yet. Hopefully, get him back pretty soon. But just to get that monkey off the back for beating Clemson, something we haven't done in a very long time, like we stated previously. You get that dub against those guys, a huge sigh of relief. Now you can play, free ball and just do what you do and play some dominant football.
And I don't know what year Kevin knows is, but at this point, I just want that brother to get his degree or get him a CDL. Come holler at me. I got a job for him. But I'm so tired of seeing him on the field in my secondary. Byers, oh my God, Jesus, Father God, Christ, help us on this day on this Lord's day. That boy just got punished, man. I don't know if it was just a bad game, but if he's not in the right spot, for those two on my list.
Yeah, I agree, man. Byers definitely, and we've been kind of talking about it for the whole season, so to speak. But that game there was pretty much the needle in the hay, so to speak, in regards to that. Yeah, it was bad. Yeah, we had to make that switch. And I just appreciate the depth, right? Because it was a point in time where we had the lead Byers out there, right? Like that's literally all we had. So to have a guy like Darius Washington who could come in and play multiple positions and kind of hold it down on that right side in that situation, man, I'm just happy we've come a long way as far as the offensive line depth to where we don't have to lead those guys in when they're just playing that bad.
Facts. But bro, man, that's all man. I'm just happy for the dub, happy for this bye week. Just ready for the rest of the season. Appreciate you having me on. One
Oh no,
shot
we
before
know
I
that. I
go.
love it.
Fuck the
Go
hold
ahead.
down. Fuck the hold down network. I'm out of here.
Reggie, my dog, man. I love you, bro. All right, we got
Blessings,
anybody
bro.
next? Anybody next in the chamber? All right, cool. All right. Make sure you guys like this video and subscribe to the channel, man. Like this video and subscribe to the channel, man. Looking at a comment real quick. We need give Deuce Span 3 touches a game on Jet Sweep. We need I want somebody. Come on. Hey, Kwame, I want you to join, man. Let's talk real quick, man. Come on. Let's talk real quick. I see you in the comments talking a little shit, man. We go. That's my brother, man, Kwame. Big time fan. We kicked it last year down the UM game in Miami. We whooped their ass a little bit, man. But a real good brother, man. Real good brother. We got Bo. Bo, talk to me. Bo, you there? Bo, you hear me? Hey, Brandon, you truly are hilarious, man. You truly are hilarious. But again, make sure you guys like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you got any super chat questions, anything like that, go ahead and hit that button. Bo, you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, talk to me, bro. Yeah, I can
What's
hear you.
good?
I can
What's
hear you.
good, CJ?
I can hear you, Dirty.
Oh yeah, what's up with it, man? Hey, we 4-0, bro. What they talking about? We 4-0.
4-0, baby. 4-0, man.
What
That
they talking
don't
about?
matter, man. What they talking about? We 4-0, right?
Hey, listen, man. You know, we played Florida State football. I mean, that's just what it is, man. Like the whole game, there's a lot of ups and downs. You know what I'm saying? That's part of football. We know that. But the mental fortitude these kids show, bro. Like that play by Deloach, bro. That
Oh,
play
man.
by Deloach, dog. Like when we get old and our kids is rooting for Florida State, we gonna be remembering that play. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like that's gonna be one of them plays that you
Nah,
never gonna
that's
forget
a
where
good
you was
point,
at.
bro. I think that's one of those Florida State plays,
Yeah,
one of them plays you're gonna see for a long time.
absolutely, man. But it was a great game. I think, you know what I'm saying? We got fullback locked in. He locked in on offense. He had 2 TDs. Now, of course, we got to clean that run game up. And me personally, I think
Now, what's your
everybody
opinion on
knows.
that? Because I want your opinion. As you guys
Yeah,
know, Bo is all world running back, Hall of Fame player at East Illinois, big time player. You had 3,000-yard rushing seasons, correct? If I'm not mistaken.
absolutely, absolutely.
So as a former running back, man, what's your opinion on the run game?
I think personally, number one, we really not getting as much push as we normally get. That's the first thing, and I
Mm-hmm.
think you got the talent, obviously, to do that, to block. Atkins is probably the best offensive line coach in the nation, and also when I was at EIU, he was also on at Tennessee Martin. He was all conference OVC, so we shared the same at the same time. So he know his shit. Like he top tier. But I think teams are scouting us like crazy. They know the counter is coming, and it's
Right,
just too slow developing. And
right.
so a lot of times people say the running backs ain't really doing this. The running backs ain't got no vision. We need Trayshawn. I like Trayshawn. I think he has a really good vision, but I don't necessarily think it's like a one running back thing.
No.
It's the fact that the offensive line, it has to be all moving in the same direction, and then we're going to see running backs be able to hit holes, make plays. But I think as the season keeps going, it's going to get better. I already know it is. So I ain't really too worried about it because even though Clemson made us one dimensional, we still threw the ball, whatever we wanted to do in the pass game. You know what I mean? So again, as other people have stated, we still have not played our best game, and we 4-0, bro.
Mm-hmm.
All these people talking this shit, bro. We have not played our best game, and the staff knows that these kids way better than what we playing. The kids know that, but after this bye week, we about to hit a stride, man. I'm telling you, bro, it's gonna be ugly for whoever got to see us.
I agree 100%. I think it's going to be kind of a mirror image of last year where we had that bye week after that tough 3-game stretch against Wake,
Yeah.
NC State, and Clemson. We're going to lick
Mm-hmm.
our wounds a little bit, get into the film room, then we're going to see a different Florida State as far as being more dominant. I agree 100%.
Absolutely. Now, as far as, just my thoughts on the defense, I was saying in the chat, like, I'm like, man, this defense really gonna end up like making a play for us. You know what I mean? Like you can kind of tell. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I really wasn't too big on Cade coming into the game. Obviously, the first half he made his good reads. But I said if once we sack him that one time, you know what I mean? Once we get to him just a little bit, he gonna throw it up to us or whatever. He didn't throw a pick, but that was the play that Deloach made, and that was really like. Man, I know we talked about it before, but if they would have scored there, it's a real uphill battle.
It's
You know
been
what I'm
tough.
saying? The
That's why
crowd
I'm
was
saying
really
that.
into it.
Yep.
That's just a really uphill battle. So the defense made a play. I think another big play on the defense in that fourth quarter, Pat Payton on that last series, bro. He
Mm-hmm.
had the block. He blocked the pass. Then
Mm-hmm.
Cade tried to scramble, he tackled him, and that's when they ended up missing the field goal. And then you had number 8 smack the little receiver on a little screen on 3rd and 1, which is stupid. I don't care.
Yeah,
Smack the
they just ran
receiver.
the
You know
damn
what I'm
ball,
saying?
and it's crazy. Sorry to interrupt you, bro. I had a conversation
You
with my
good.
brother about that, and he agreed we should have run the ball. Their OC's excuse, so to speak, was they knew they stacked the box, so they feel like a little quick
Uh-huh.
little screen out there to get the 1 yard. But
Right.
again, hats off to Ronaldo Green for blowing it up and pushing them back even further.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then another thing I want to just say, man, I'm a guy who I don't really talk about the refs too much and say they this or that, but
That
like,
fucking pass
bro,
interference, bro.
yeah,
Oh
that
my
pass
God, that was
interference on
physical
8,
interference, man.
that shit was
Oh,
trash because Clemson DBs was holding our receivers all game. On the last play on that 4th down, dude grabbed 4. The safety grabbed 4 when he trying to get to run the post. And the refs just sat there, ain't throw no flags. I just want this shit to be called fair, but it's all good. Four bounce back, got the touchdown, Moss buddy little ass, and the nose is back on top, man.
100%, 100%. No, back on top. But yeah, that pass interference was egregious, and there was a couple. Even that Jaheim Bell wheel route,
Yes,
the linebacker DB pretty much had his right hand
zero.
free to reach both hands up.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree 100%, bro, man. I appreciate you, bro. It's always a pleasure, you darn, and just been knowing you for years and talking ball, man. I can't wait till you come down for the Miami game. You guys know, man.
Oh yeah, we in the building.
Right,
11-11 gonna be a movie.
right. I'm telling you,
Hey,
bro. We're gonna
everybody
have
tap
that real
in, bro. Like you can't miss this one. I'm gonna finally be in Tally, dog. I've been a fan since I was 7, bro. This has been over 30 years in the making, dog. I'm so hyped, bro.
good. Oh
It's
man,
gonna be. Hey, I'm so hyped, bro.
but we definitely gonna have to make sure you have a good time the weekend. I'm gonna pull out. We gonna roll the red carpet out for you for sure,
Oh
man.
yeah.
And then for your first game being the Miami game, oh
Oh
man,
yeah.
you gonna love
Oh
it.
yeah. That's gonna be up, bro. All right, CJ. Appreciate you, man. Keep doing your thing. You already know, bro. Take care.
Appreciate you, bro. Most love.
All right. Go love. Go Noles.
All right, guys. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Just want to also talk about a couple of things that we're talking about, like defense. They only gave us 7 points in the second damn half. So I was pulling my hair out and kind of complaining a little bit in that first half, especially that 2-minute drill before the half, and we let them go down there and score that touchdown. Like, we can't give that up. We can't give that up. But the second half, we definitely tightened up, and for us to give up only 7 points in the second half is damn good. Damn good. Damn good. All right, guys. Make sure you guys, like I said, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Anybody else want to jump in and talk before we wrap these things up real quick? And shout out to Tony. I want to read this comment real quick. I got to give Shipley his flowers, man. That boy will be ball. Yeah, I like Will Shipley a lot. He definitely has my respect. For 3 years, man, he's been running real tough, man. He's just a football player. Running the ball, receiving, kick return. He's a football player. Real good football player. But yeah, I do think, like I said, going into this bye week, it's a couple things I do we need to take care of and address during this bye week. Get healthy, first of all. Figure out the run game and figure out some things I think some adjustments on third downs just to figure out something. I do like. I want to see more pressure. Fuller is reluctant to call pressure. The pass rush hasn't really been getting home, but every time we dial up pressure, the shit seems to get there. We brought Shaheem Brown a couple times off the edge. He was effective. Of course, we talk about the D-Lo play. If you bring people in, we think we'll be fine. I think we got another caller in. Kwame, talk to me. Oh, I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, you hear now. You hear. I hear you, my brother. No. First of all, let's stop right there. Did you book your flight yet?
I'm thinking about it.
And don't think about it. I told you don't think about it. Go ahead and make that shake this week.
Because, you got to fly to Jacksonville, and then you got to drive like 3 hours to that
Jacksonville,
decrepit
2
city
hours.
that you call
Fly straight
Tally.
into Tallahassee, brother. I know you got some money. Fly straight into Tallahassee. Fly straight into Tallahassee. You got a little bit of money. Fly straight into Tallahassee. You can afford an extra couple $100. Go ahead, fly right in.
I'm thinking about it, man. I just trying to figure out what hotel I'm gonna stay at. Y'all got that by Holiday Inns out there, so I got to figure out if you got at least a Hyatt or
Hotel
something.
Duval, and we go and then gonna be on you again this time. We gonna go to Shula's. We gonna go to Shula's.
Yeah.
I know you're a Miami guy. Shula got a restaurant right there. Hotel Duval. Look it up. We go to Shula's.
You know what? That's a step up. I thought you were gonna take me to Outback or something. That's all right. That's all right.
You are still hilarious, my brother. Let's talk about your Canes. How you feeling so far with you guys' 4-0 start?
When I told you this past off season that the investment in the O line was going to pay off, check is coming due because the interior of the O line, people scoffed at that kid Cohen, number 70. He's gonna be a first round draft pick, no later than the second round. Matt Lee and Inez Cooper, who I don't know how Alabama or Auburn let a 6'6", 350-pound guard leave the state of Alabama. But I thank you mightily because the interior of the O line is stout. And then Jalen Rivers, who has played guard most of his career, is having a hell of a season at left tackle. So, long story short, my O line, I like that matchup against y'all's D line. I like that. I'll take that action.
What defense line have y'all faced? Don't tell me Texas A&M.
I'm telling you. Well, okay. According to Big Noel, you guys have played the 5th and the 7th most talented team in the country, according to 247. Well, guess who's the number 4 most talented team? That Texas A&M defense. All right. And so I'm going to put them up there.
Okay.
I'm also going to say, like, in the past, Miami struggled with mid-tier FBS schools like Miami of Ohio. Miami of Ohio just beat Cincinnati. A&M just beat Auburn. And so we ain't playing like.
All right, let's back up. Now, you talking like Auburn is a good team. Now, you know they just fired their coach last year for being so bad. And then you got the first-year coach, too, now. So this ain't the same Auburn teams that we've been seeing now. Come on now, Kwame.
That's fine. Auburn 3-0. I mean, come on.
Who they play?
Wins a win. Okay, well, y'all just struggle against Boston College, okay?
Who has a better resume than us? Let's talk about that. Who has a better?
Nobody. Nobody.
Okay, then.
Nobody.
No, seriously. On all jokes aside, within the first 4 games, who has a better resume than us?
Nobody. I'll give it to you. Nobody.
Okay.
But you can't sit there with your eyeballs. And I didn't play the game like you, right? So you but I'm looking at what I see on the defense and the offensive line. My team has, I won't say they turned the corner, but this is not the same team that y'all, played last year.
I agree.
So, Harlan, God bless him, him, thinking that he's going to whip us 45-3 again. I got a rude awakening for you. Tyler has time to throw the ball now. And I would argue, looking at numbers, efficiency, QBR, Tyler Van Dyke is the best quarterback in the state right now. Yeah, I said it. Put that on everything like Ursha.
I mean, yeah, when you got to play, the fearsome secondary of Miami, Ohio, the fearsome secondary of the Temple Owls, and the best secondary y'all probably played against is the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats, right? My guys. But no, I got to give my boy some love, right? I mean, TVD been doing this thing. He's been doing what he's supposed to. Let's put it that way. He's been doing what he's supposed to do against those type of teams. So I got to see it a little bit more. I got to see it against the P5 guys, the ACC guys. And I think y'all got I got North Carolina, and who else? Like Syracuse, something like that. Just walk through the schedule.
No Syracuse, but we got North Carolina. We have Georgia Tech first at home. Then we go to North Carolina, and then we'll get into more, obviously, ACC.
After North Carolina, it's like 2 games in a row you guys have that's pretty tough, like North Carolina and somebody else.
Louisville, I think we have Louisville, at Louisville, North Carolina State. So it's not a.
No, I think the second half of the schedule is a lot tougher. I agree.
Not a lot tougher. It's not a total cakewalk. It's going to be teams and games we're going to have to get up for. But there were key acquisitions and some depth that we added in the offseason. And not only the interior of the O-line, but what was slept on and didn't get as much praise because his brother was a 5-star recruit and he got all the shine. But we're going to introduce y'all to Kiko Marigoa in Leon County on November 11th. And those counter plays that y'all like to run them again. Run them again. We'll see what happens this time with Kiko.
Y'all still got those 250-pound defensive tackles, right?
No. They ain't 250 pounds. And let me tell you something. Go about 275 now. About 295.
No, that ain't enough. That ain't enough, my brother.
We've been feeding them. Well, it was enough for Boston College. They got to you. Their DBs held your boy Coleman in check. Now, I have a lot of confidence in my DBs. If
Your
Boston
DBs
College
aren't better than
DBs,
Clemson DBs, my brother. I don't think so.
well, they ain't got to be better than Clemson's DBs. They got to be like Boston College's DBs that held y'all in check.
You think? I'm gonna tell you this again too. If you think that FSU team that played against Boston College will be the same FSU team that plays against Miami at home, you're in for a rude awakening too, my brother. So don't put too much stock into that Boston College game. Put that Clemson game was more so what you would see as far as receivers and things
Okay.
like that.
And I'm gonna say this: this is Tyler Van Dyke's last year. It's bag season for Tyler. He coming for it all. He heard what y'all said about him. He got all the press clippings. He seen that y'all didn't categorize him as one of the top quarterbacks in the league this offseason. He took stock of that. He's proven it on the field right now. He's the offense. The people laughed at my coordinator hires. They ain't laughing right now. You got Big Noles saying he want to get my DC. He want to snatch my DC in the offseason because y'all don't like
I
Adam
know Big
Fuller.
Nose man say that, man. I know he ain't go out like that.
Oh yeah, he did. Go ahead and check him because he did.
I gotta check my brother for that one because ain't nowhere in hell.
He said Adam Fuller's cheeks because he is.
Now I agree. I know he probably said that. I know he definitely said that. So all right. So if you come up, I know it's a little early. I'm gonna get you back in for the Miami game. Give me your score prediction real quick, just for these first 4 games. How you think it's gonna play out?
If I had to go for Miami, if Miami and FSU play right now, I would take Miami 45-35.
45 points. My brother, what
Mm-hmm.
kind of drugs do you have up there in that area?
Oh, it's good stuff, man. We legal up here, baby. We ain't in prison like y'all in them red states in Florida. We got
Hey,
real good
one more
stuff.
time, Harlan. One more time. Get you one more time.
Hell no.
What do you do? What Harlan do?
Yeah, baby. That's all I wanted to hear. All right, cool. We got to move on a little bit, my brother. Give me your last couple of takes before we move on.
Hey, look. God bless the Florida State Seminoles. I want y'all undefeated on November 11th in Doak because I don't want no excuses.
I want y'all undefeated too. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I want y'all undefeated too. But the simple fact is, if y'all undefeated, we're gonna break y'all spirits as usual. But second, I feel like that's gonna be huge for college game. I think it's gonna be college game day. Miami, Florida State is gonna be a big time atmosphere. So I agree. I want y'all to be undefeated coming in. But like you said, y'all can't get over that North Carolina home. So that's gonna be an interesting game to watch as well. But again, if we both are undefeated, I'm 100% sure college game day we will be in Tallahassee for that game. I appreciate you, bro.
No doubt about it. Y'all be good, man.
Appreciate you, bro, for tuning in for real. All right, man, I think we got a couple super chats. Let's play them real quick.
Florida State, your brothers, your team, your heartbeat. We some dogs. We ain't no puppies.
And shout out to my sister Tanya, man. She said, man, let's get that man out of here. I appreciate it, man. I thought we got one more, man. Let's get to the next one.
I saw a wide ass open hole and I just hit that bitch.
Oh shoot, hold on. I'm trying to catch up. My apologies. Read this super chat. Where is it at? Cool. Appreciate you, Harlan. Nah, I don't. Make sure he got that. Make sure you got the. You can't see that to me. It's a little small for KP. My bad, KP. I'm gonna read it real quick. Brandon, you're hilarious, bro. Shout out to my dog KP. Say make sure you get the bags on the sideline of the house before he leaves. Right, 100%. I think we got one more super chat.
I said, are you strong? They said, I'm strong if you strong. And I said, we strong then.
Shout out to my boy Brandon, man. B Road, just for the donation, man. Appreciate the love, my brother. All right, man. Make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel. I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up pretty I see Aaron Johnson. Just a quick comment on that. They got They have NC, they have NC and Clemson prior to us. So again, North Carolina and Clemson. Those are the two games I was talking about, North Carolina and Clemson. So we're going to really see what Miami has as in regards to that, because like I said, I don't think they're being tested. You guys kind of know how I feel about Texas, and especially Jimbo at this point in stage in his career. So we'll see how it plays out. But I do think Miami is better than last year. But I mean, shit, you can't get any worse than last year as well either, because they was pretty damn bad last year. Offense could barely pass the 50-yard line. So again, Kwame, I think you are correct. You're going to be a lot better than last year. From last year is only up from last year. I promise you that. But again, though, man, I think we're going to go ahead and get up out of here. Make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel. Appreciate all the love. We'll be back. We're gonna figure out some things with this bye week. We're going to do this upcoming show. We're going to be pretty creative with it. Maybe get an interview in for a former Noles or something like that. We'll let you guys know prior. But again, make sure you guys like this video and subscribe to the channel. You guys really hung out decent in the comments. I love it. Y'all was hanging real good. It was a movie over there. We're gonna keep this going, man. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel, and go Noles.